Yo, what is up everybody? It's Shadow, and today we're going to be going over our final episode of our Call of Duty Modern Warfare Tactical Weapon builds. And today, to close off this season, we're going to be using the Mark 14 EBR. EBR standing for Enhanced Battle Rifle. Just a quick disclaimer, this build does use a blueprint, but it's not required for the build. Not at all, and I'll show you why in a minute. The build is not going to be the last either. This is just the final build of the season and the theme surrounding it. So the theme of this season is U.S. military weapons, like, you know, we covered the M16 A4, we covered the M249 SAW, and we also covered the we're covering the Mark 14 EBR. And yeah, we're gonna be there's gonna be definitely more seasons, and they're gonna be different builds. 4 episodes each. So yeah, there's gonna be different themes surrounding this Modern Warfare, because Modern Warfare just has a lots of variety of weapons and lots of gunsmith customizations you can, and little unique builds you can make, and small little weapon changes that completely just drastically change the weapon, like this build. So yeah, without enough rambling, let's get into the build. So we actually have our Mark 14 EBR here. Very nice looking, you know, DMR. You could call it a sniper, you could call it a DMR, but for this terms, we're just gonna be calling it an EBR. Alright, so first let's just strip the build entirely. Now, let me go to the blueprint part of the build. So you can, yes, you can absolutely use the build with the base EBR. You don't have to have any blueprint. However, you could use the whatever way to say this blueprint, you could use this one mainly for that chassis system and the black. But I'm using the Swamp Weed blueprint. Sadly, this is a Season 1 exclusive. If you got the Battle Pass in Season 1, you most likely got this blueprint. And yeah, it's pretty much Mark 14 EBR. Slight differences, but yeah, pretty much straight out of the build. So yeah, if you were like me in Season 1 and you didn't use the Mark 14 or EBR 14 in this game, then you most likely got this blueprint and used it, and it's like, you know, I used it and I was happy because, like, I didn't have the attachments for it. I didn't max out the weapon at that time. So yeah, I'm using this blueprint. But yeah, like I said, I'll show a build of it not using the blueprint. You could do it totally without the blueprint, but I'm using the blueprint for the sake of this video. Okay, enough rambling. And another reason why I'm using the blueprint is because of that black finish. You can also make an M14 out of it. You can make you can even make another build with it. Endless builds. But yeah, you can see we took off the chassis system, and now we have polymer furniture, just straight polymer, blacked out. So now, what we're gonna do is first, we're gonna take good on the stock. And for the stock, do not select any other one besides this. Or you can use this one. You can use this one, but for the sake of this video, for the most correct and aesthetically correct to the real life build, we're gonna be using the FSS Raider Chassis Elite stock for the aim down sight speed, aim walking movement speed, and sprint to fire speed. Cons is just going to be aiming stability and aiming walking steadiness. So just put that on, and you see the chassis of the build is just completely changed. Like it's just different. Like the polymer's gone. It's just a whole different gun essentially than the EBR 14, you know. Okay, moving on. We're gonna go to underbarrel, and we're gonna put on a bipod because this is a DMR, and it looks good with the bipod. So yeah, you can put on a bipod just for that, I guess, recoil control, which this gun doesn't really have any recoil. It just has a lot of visual recoil, which can get in the way of shots. So, you know, I guess if you have troubles controlling recoil, you can just put on the bipod. Okay, next. Now, the thing about the build, you do not have to have a barrel on it. The EBR Mod 0, sorry, has an 18-inch barrel. This more looks like an 18-inch barrel Yeah, it looks like an 18-inch barrel at base, probably like a 20-inch, maybe like around there. So you could leave the barrel base if you don't want to harm the ADS time or that, or you know, because in reality, in the stats of this weapon, you do not need a barrel. In fact, you do not need a barrel. Maybe for that bullet velocity, but the only thing, you don't need a barrel for damage range because it has infinite 2-shot range. If you're hitting the chest, yeah, if you're hitting the chest, you have an infinite 2-shot range. It's always a one-shot headshot, so you don't need a barrel to increase any ranges whatsoever. Maybe, yeah, like the only thing I said is because of the bullet velocity. But for the sake of this video and for real life purposes, we're gonna be using the 22-inch Forged Tack Precision, just for that 22-inch barrel, because the mod 1, Mark 14 mod 1 has a 21-inch barrel, and this is the closest we can get. So yeah, throw that 22-inch barrel on there for the damage range, bullet velocity, and recoil control. The cons is going to be aim down sight speed and movement speed. Don't worry about that too much. Okay, and now for the ammunition. The Mark 14 carries 20 round mags of 7.62 by 51 NATO. So we're going to be putting on 20 round mags just for that extended magazine capacity. And then finally, for the optic, we're going to be putting on a scope. And for the scope, we're going to be putting on a variable zoom scope for that 3.5 to 8 times, you know, zoom for longer range engagements, because this is a DMR. And we're going to be using this DMR as, you know, as a DMR should. Yeah, just put that on there. And then now we have our build. The Mark 14 EBR. It's looking very nice so far. It looks very aesthetically pleasing. Not my favorite looking gun, but I like it because it just screams, you know, precision, high damage, you know. Now here's things you could change. If you want to throw on a can or a suppressor, you can take off the bipod. You really don't need the bipod, and put on a monolithic suppressor, and it looks nice like that. You could put on a laser for that ADS time, also with the aiming stability, because we have a con right there. You can also take off the 20 round mags for this blueprint, because like I said, this blueprint has a 15 round magazine built into it, but it's not like 15, it's not an attachment, it's just a cosmetic. See, if I remove it, nothing changes, so it looks more like a 15 round magazine in the game, so you can leave that on and still have 10 rounds, but still look like you have 20 rounds or 15, you know. So you can take off the magazine and have 2 attachment slots for, let's just say, a ranger foregrip if you're having a horrible time controlling the recoil, a commando for that stabilization and stability, let's just say, and you can put on a can. And there you go, you have something like that. Or you could put on fully loaded, because DMRs don't have a lot of ammo. You could put on presence of mind for extended hold of breath, or you could put on focus, which is a real key attachment for DMRs and snipers in this game, because the flinch is so high. Because if you get shot, your aim usually aims to their head or above it, so you miss your shot. So you may want to put on a focus and remove that bipod or a magazine, and you have a good build. But for the purposes of this video, we'll be using the 20 round magazine. So, but that's just possible changes you can make to adjust your playstyle. But and the last thing wouldn't be, you know, too far-fetched, is putting on like a reflex, a red dot sight, or even a LCAN, you know, NACOG, because you can make this work in CQC, and you can make this work in close quarters. You know, you can even put on an integral hybrid to get the best of both worlds. You know, but again, like I said, for the purposes of this build, we'll be utilizing it as a DMR. So yeah, looks very, very clean. Not my favorite looking build, and not the best gun in the game, but I mean, for DMRs, it's a great, great learning curve, great starting point for introducing the player to DMRs in this game. Yeah, not too much to say about this build. I've used it in the past in multiplayer and ground war. It gets the job done. It's just not the best gun at all by far. Alright, so let's get into the real life stats of this weapon. The weapon is also called, you know, is called the Mark 14 Enhanced Battle Rifle, or EBR. and it's an American service rifle or battle rifle, service fire battle rifle, chambered in the 7.62 by 51 NATO. The reason being is because it needs to penetrate body armor, and 5.56 can't penetrate body armor really good. So they wanted a squad to have a Mark 14, at least one person in a squad to just you know, punch through that body armor and take targets down, and at a longer range. Its variant is the M14 battle rifle from the 60s, you know, Vietnam, brown furniture, you know, wood furniture. M14, this is just basically the upgraded chassis version of it. It is also originally built for United States Special Operations Command, you know, Navy SEALs, Delta Force, Green Berets, and the weapon system is a designated marksman, sorry, and it also supports close combat roles. Since 2010, the U.S. Army has assigned 2 M14 EBRs rifles per infantry platoon for units deploying in Afghan. The M14 has a standard barrel of 21 inches, and you know, that's the Mod 1. The Mod 0 has an 18-inch barrel. It is not to be confused with the Mark 14 Mod 0 or 1. Its effective firing range is as far as you could pretty much hit the target, you know. The effective firing range, is about, I don't know, I want to say 800 to, like, yeah, 800 meters, and its rate of fire is 700 to 750 rounds per minute, which is diabolically slow in this game. Like, this game, they really toned that fire rate down. Like in Modern Warfare 2, you could spam it as fast as you could pull the trigger, but in this game, you could only pull it like 200 rounds per minute, like at the fastest, you know. It is very slow, and if you miss one shot, your time to kill goes down dramatically, bro. So you do not want to miss shots with this weapon. You do not want to miss shots with this weapon at all. To correct my firing range, it has an effective firing range of about 853 meters to be exact. So yeah, I said about 800, but I was off just 53 meters. Oh, actually, my bad. It's actually 500 meters, but 800 meters with optics. So that was the muzzle velocity. 853 is the muzzle velocity in real life. The effective firing range is 800 with optics. So actually, I was right. And yeah, this is the M14. Enough of the real life stats. Enough of me rambling. Let's actually get into game. Test out the recoil and fire rate and all that stuff. Maneuverability, movement speed, you know the drill. And yeah, hope to see you there. Alright.
Team deathmatch. Get your teeth out. Time to hunt.
So if you can look, we have our Mark 14 EBR, fully decked out, looking pretty snazzy, looking pretty good. So yeah, let's just test out the obviously the recoil. Okay, so this was me just letting it rip, not even controlling it. And as you can see, it jumps once. The second bullet is accurate, or that was just me missing, just slowing down my fire rate. But it's just gonna jump up, then just, there's like a big, huge recoil gap right there. And then it just keeps going to the right. So it has a little vertical and horizontal recoil. So let's try it with controlling it. Okay, so you can be pretty accurate with it if you just control it and just slow your fire rate down. Now this is a DMR. You do not want to spam like this is Warzone. You do not want to spam. You do not want to spam this like it's Cold War either. You want to be accurate as possible. You want to not miss a shot. So you want to 2 shots will mainly down the target, but to be safe, just hit 3. And wait till that recoil simmers down. Like that. Wait till it wait till the gun recenters, because you do not want to spam with this. See that recoil? Just jumps way higher than it needs to be. To achieve maximum accuracy with this weapon, just let it reset. So yeah, this is mainly a build mainly used for ground war. Again, it's a good sniper. If you're using a meta sniper in ground war, try this. You know, it might change the way you play. You know, you got to be more accurate with it because you actually have to hit the head to get that easy one shot. So you got to be more accurate, but there's a skill level with it. You have 20 shots, so that's a potentially 20 one-shot kills if you're skilled with it. So just think about that for a second. You know, next time you're hopping in ground war, just choose this build. You know. Maybe play around with it. Choose your own attachments, but play around with it. You know, it might make your day. Anyway, so let's talk about maneuverability. Obviously, you're not going to be rushing with this gun. Maneuverability doesn't really count. It's fast, but I mean, it's standard. I guess like assault rifle speed. I want to say just standard. Not too fast, not too slow. Just right there. Yeah, just don't expect to be doing high-speed maneuvers and all that. You know, it's not a close quarters weapon at all. It has a sniper scope, obviously. So yeah, you don't want to be using that. Aimed out sight time for a sniper, very fast. Or a DMR, very fast. That's like 300 milliseconds right there. Very fast. You can aim in, aim out very quickly. Strafe speed. Looking good with that stock attachment, and yeah, everything is just looking fine with this weapon. So yeah, I think the weapon is very nice. It's doing its job being a DMR. So let's hop into a game with bots, see how it does in like a player versus player scenario. And yeah. Alright, so we're in a match with bots, and I instantly get deleted. Sorry about that. So yeah, we're in a game with bots, and to see how well it does against, you know, a player versus player scenario. See, I just instantly got melted there before I can even aim. So that's proof that you do not want to miss your shots like I did right there. Yeah, I gotta play this very cautiously. Very campy. If you can hit that one shot, they down. So let's talk about damage. You hit one shot, they're dead. If you hit 2 shots, they're dead. And if you hit anything below the chest, it's a 3 shot. Damn. And I think at farther ranges, if you hit anything below the chest, you will get a 4 shot, which doesn't sound too good. Dang. You see how, amazingly powerful the other weapons are in this game? The time to kill is just intense. And that flinch can really throw you off target. So just be wary of that. You do not want to get shot while using this weapon. That's why I think using a can or suppressor will be most beneficial. That Ram 7 bot is just melting me. Oops. I'm sorry if it looks so boring. I just put on like 7 bots. So my bad if it's a little slow. Dang. You can see the obvious weaknesses with this build, no doubt. Damn. that's the Mark 14 EBR in action. Not an accurate representation of how you would play with this weapon. However, it does kind of give you it gives you an idea of how the damage is and how is it actually overall gonna play. So yeah, that's the M14 or Mark 14. Sorry. How would I rate the build? Not the best. I mean, I guess if you're trying to reenact your favorite military movie, or just like you want to use a sniper that's different or a DMR that's different, use the Mark 14. Give it a shot. It'll very yeah. If you don't get shot at first, if someone doesn't see you first, they're probably already dead. If your aim is really good. So yeah, overall I would rate the build mediocre, but still give it a try. Something new, something to refresh. You know, I mean, I don't know about Warzone. I don't play Warzone like that. But comment down below. You know, what do you think if it works in Warzone? If you ever would use this in Warzone. And yeah. This is Shadow, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. And yeah, this is the end of Season 1 of our Modern Warfare Tactical Weapon builds.